All right, let's look at another video creation resource, which is Educreations. And the app will look like this when you go to the App Store and search Educreations. And so when we go ahead and open up Educreations, all right, now it's going to, so it's going to show you some of the other lessons that I've created. But once you are ready, and to begin with, you're going to have to set up an account. So down here in the settings, if you click on that, and it would have you go through and set up an account, and it'll choose your school and everything and give you a little information. Now, since my account is already set up, it already has me logged in, so I'm going to close out of there. But once you get your account set up and you're logged in, up here in the top left where it has that little plus, you're going to click on that to create a new lesson. And when you create go to create a lesson, it's going to bring you to this white screen here, and it's just kind of an open page where you can start setting up your lesson. Now, depending on what your lesson is going to depend on how you want to set your lesson up. So if we want to talk about angles or, geometry, now we have our different colors up here. We can choose whichever one we want, and we can use either your finger or a stylus pen. And so when I write out geometry, now this is setting up ahead of time. We haven't started our lesson, so when we go to start doing our lesson, this will already be there. And then down here in the bottom right, there's a little arrow, and if we click on that, now we see that it says 2 of 2. So we're on the second page of 2 pages. Now over here on the left, if I click the arrow, it takes me back to my first page, and it says I'm on 1 of 2. And so I can go here, and so then, more specifically, we're going to talk about angles. And, so then I'm just setting these up. So now I'm going to go to the next page, and I'm going to go to acute. And my handwriting isn't very good, and that's part of it. Writing on the board is going to be, very similar, but, however you, do your, set up your lesson. So we have acute, then we have right, and obtuse. And so I have those set up. Now, let's say I want to pull in an image. Now, if I click the plus right here, I can choose an image, and that would have to come from my camera roll, or, so I would add something in, and I haven't looked on there. So let's see what, got some picture of the dogs. Whatever this random peanut butter bar pin picture I have. So let's say, I'm going to look at this one, and we can look at the different angles that are on this. So once we, get to that point, we can pull up and look at those angles. And so let's go back to our first one. Now, once I have my lesson set up and I am ready to, start recording, up here in the top left, I have my red microphone button. So I'm going to click on that. So right now my lesson is live, and so I would say, today class, we are going to be talking about geometry, and if I want to, I can, underline it. This is going to be live as I'm recording, so whatever I draw now, the students will see that live. Now, they're not going to see a picture of me. All they're going to see is this screen. And so we're talking about geometry, but more specifically, we're talking about angles, and there's 3 types of angles that we will be looking at. So let's take a look at the first one. The first one is acute. And so we draw an acute angle, and we say that an acute is less than 90. And so we would say, this would be your 90-degree angle, and this is less than that, so this would make it an acute angle. Explain whatever you want to explain. We go to our next one, and then we say a right angle. Now, a right angle is 90 degrees. We draw our little box in the corner. You may want to talk about how to measure a right angle, how to recognize a right angle. And then we go to our next one, and we say obtuse. All right, and so we draw this, and then we would show where the 90-degree, the right angle would be, so they can see the difference, and you talk about it. And then we go here and we say, well, let's take a look at, some of these and try to find, some right angles. And so we would say, there's a 90-degree angle, and then we could say this is an obtuse angle right here. And let's see if we can find an acute angle. Most of them are all more than, but you know, somewhere, you know, if you would find something, so like over here, this one's kind of an acute angle, just depending on, you know, whatever picture. That was just a random picture I threw in there, but you would find a picture that would match with your lesson and put that in there, so that way you had an image that you could go through and look at, and then you would give more direction on what specifically you want them to do. You may want to have them put, you know, write some things in their journal. You may want to say, you know, write obtuse in your journal and write a definition. Write acute or right angle in your journal, write a definition, and put an acute angle in your journal, write a definition. So anything that you're doing while it's recording, this is what's going to be in the video. It's going to be what's on the screen. It's not going to show any of this top part. It's just what's on the screen, and it's going to record your voice. So when I'm done, I hit stop, and well, I hit pause, but I can, and if I want to, I can move things around and then go ahead and hit play and keep, or hit, not play, hit the record button again and continue from there. So the video would stop wherever I hit pause and then would continue wherever I continued recording that video. Now, if I want to go back and watch my video, I hit play. So right now my lesson is live, and so I would say, today class we are going to be talking about geometry, and if I want to, I can, you know, underline it. You know. So you can see as you start playing it, that's exactly what the students are going to see, and you can scroll through, and it shows you down here exactly, you know, what's happening at that time, and you can scroll through and see, you know, what's being put on the screen, and test your lesson and make sure it looks the way that you want it to look. And so if we want to play from whatever you want to explain, we go to our next one. So you go through, you see your lesson. Once you're ready, you click done. Now also, if you need to erase, you can click the erase button there and go through and erase anything. You can do that during the lesson. You could do it, you know, after, before, however you want to set it up. Same thing, like I said, with the plus, we can, or, you know, we can type something in there. So like if we want to, you know, type, you know, we can type whatever it is to the student, you know, if we want, instead of doing our own handwriting, we can do it that way. And then also you can take a picture. If you click that, it'll just use your camera and take a screenshot of yourself, or if you want to take a picture of something that you're looking at and input that into your lesson. So if you're, you know, talking about photosynthesis and you're outside, you take a picture of the grass, and then you can talk about the different parts of it. And so there's some other options with the Pro, but you have to pay for that. So, you know, we're not going to worry about those right now. So once you are ready and you are done, you're going to click this back arrow up here. And so now we can either save the draft or we can save our finished video. So if you're not completely done, you can just save this draft. With the free version, you can only have one saved draft at a time. So just remember that, you know, if you have, you know, you're trying to create a bunch of videos, you have to finish them before you can start working on another one. And so we go to save finished video. And so we give it a title, and let's say angles. If you want to give it a description, you can. You don't have to. And so now here, if you want other people on Educreations to be able to find your video, you can do published, or you can keep it as private. You can set, you know, the subject area, and then more specifically the subject, and then the grade level, you know, once you're done. And we go ahead and click save. And so now, you know, my videos are done. So now I can click on this one. So right now, and now I can click the upload. And the only thing with this one is it doesn't give you the option to upload to YouTube, but all you have to do is you copy the link, and then you would put that link into your Google Classroom. Now, there is also a website. You can just go to educreations.com. and you would log in with the same information, and all these videos are here. So once you're on the computer, you can just copy the link to that and put it into your Google Classroom, and it's real easy to find your videos and put them into your Google Classroom. So these ones do not get uploaded to YouTube, but you still just put the link into your lesson and your students can watch it that way. So if you have any questions about how, you know, what you can add into your videos, how you want to teach it, just let me know, and we can go through and practice using Educreations to create a lesson for your class.